One way or another, I just keep coming back to this game. I am completely done uploading all of the videos of this that were formerly private, and I had no plans to make any further, informational videos on this series. But I figured we'll kind of do at least one last hurrah. It's always a possibility I'll come back to it again for something else later, but this is just some stuff that I have found after having finished all those other videos months ago. And also just a couple things I figured I'd show off for people who didn't watch the entire series, since it was a lot of footage to go through. So, this is one that I definitely did cover in my LP, but I'll show it off for people who haven't seen that. If you remember back in my, I believe it was my Red Stars video, I showed how to enter Bowser's Submarine, and I was a little coy about how I actually did that, because some people said that they weren't able to find an entrance to that. So here was the explanation for it. It doesn't have anything to do with this level, but I came here for a good reason. Because I'm going to sweep around to the left here. We're just going to take a little tour around the level. And I could nab the star. I honestly don't even have to. You know what, let's not die. Dying is bad. Let's just kind of do a little bit of this action here. And let's check out the level again. See if anything's different. First of all, we've got enemies just dying in the background, so that's always good. But if we sweep around to the left this time, the Bowser slide puzzle is here, and that wasn't there before. And the rest of the level also has other subtle differences to it. So, the reason for that is because there's not only the Lobby A, Lobby B, Lobby C thing that I showed off with the different numbers on the doors that all lead to different levels and everything. There's a trick with these doors. If you go in the left side of the door, you get what I would call the standard levels. And if you go in the right side of the door, you get variants on them. And if you have damage, you can actually... I'm trying to see if I can take some fall damage here. You can actually see with the health bar that the areas are different. There's also... it's not letting me do it, but you can also see with the HUD, right now there's no preceding zeros behind, like, the life counter or anything. Because I went in the right door, but if I go in the left door, they should actually be there. So yeah, there's just very small differences with these, and with most of the levels it doesn't really matter too much, but with the water level specifically, if you go through the right side of the door, you'll get the entrance to Bowser's Submarine that you otherwise can't do. So, let's just kind of take a tour of some other stuff here. This is going to be just, hey, did you know that this exists? Because a lot of it I sure didn't until after I finished the video series. So, this library has a few level entrances in it, but, oh, is this not the one? Yep, you can push this bookshelf. Now, it doesn't actually lead anywhere important, because it's the uncanny hallway with, or uncanny maze, or whatever this place is called, with the horrible Bowser paintings that I am not a fan of, and the Toad jump scare. So, you know, appropriate for Halloween and all that, but we don't really need to look too much at this place. It's just an alternate entrance to that. So, now I'm in the Plexel upstairs. And I'm here because there's just something here that I didn't know about, and I imagine a lot of other people did. And I feel stupid for having never found it before. So, this level's called Creepy Cove. You know, there's a bunch of similar water levels in this game, but this one, you know, other than the dead eel and the kind of somber music, it's pretty tame. It's got the underwater ship here and everything, and there's an entrance to, I believe, Unagi's tunnel back there. And I imagine a lot of people did try this, but I somehow never did. you can actually enter this hole here. You just kind of blip out of existence, and it's like the interior of the ship from Jolly Roger Bay in the vanilla game. For a long time, I actually had this star marked as impossible to collect in my spreadsheet, because I found that that area existed through just warping through different maps, but I thought that it was inaccessible, but it's there. It's not a unique star ID, so it's nothing too exciting, but it was a star that I didn't know was there before. So now I want to show this off, because if you leave through certain doors and come back in this area, it spawns into this dark version. Sometimes it's, like, I believe when you collect a star and come here, it's also dark. It's, basically just depending on how you enter this area, there's two different versions of it. And as far as I'm aware, the versions are completely identical, except for this painting. Because sometimes, yeah, normally when you enter this painting, you get this level, Pleasant Falls. But if you enter it through the dark version specifically, there is a chance that it will do something else. So I might have to load a few save states here until I get it to happen. And I have shown this off in some of it, one of my videos as well at some point. I don't remember when, but it's pretty obscure, so I figured I would show it here. Might take a while to get it to happen. There we go. So yeah, this one's called Forgotten Falls, apparently. It's basically just a corrupted version of the level. There's not much to see here other than some messed up geometry, but it's kind of neat. And if you wander around in here for long enough, you should be able to get some weird crap to happen. There's always invisible walls, my favorite. I don't remember where you have to go to trigger the weird stuff, so let's just wander for a little bit. Get up here. I think this direction usually does it. Yeah, there we go. Kind of some yellow switch style effects. Anyway, just thought that place was kind of neat. Here's another one that I just never found, but it wasn't really hidden or anything. So this is the Dudah Courtyard. I don't remember what it's actually called, but this is the section of the game where there's a lot of levels that are like kind of alpha versions of vanilla levels. There's a hole in the corner here. If this was the regular uncanny courtyard, didn't realize these gave that message. But yeah, normally in the uncanny courtyard, if you drop in this, you go to the it's called the Battle Fort. I forget what it is. It's that one area from Mario 64 DS. And here you go to a checkerboard. It is one of two checkerboards in the game. The other one is in the uncanny courtyard. If you stand on a statue after having, I think, 30 stars. I don't remember exactly. Here's one that's super unimportant, but figured I'd show it. In the crumbling castle, there's this stupid door that I love because the animation on it is just kind of hilarious. But the door isn't why we're here, as much as I would like it to be. What we're actually here for is this. It just leads to, I believe this place is called Tubular Lobby. I called it Lobby Labyrinth. So it's a one-way. It's not a unique area. You can get here through other means, but I thought that was kind of neat. And here's just one more, which again I did show off in my videos, but this one's super obscure, so I figured I'd let people know about it anyway. That was not the correct door to go in. But this is Vanilla Floor 2. There's a mirrored version of this if you get the Vanish Cap and run through the mirror, but that's not the reason I'm here. The reason I'm here is because you can do this. And there's a whole ass level in here. And it's kind of difficult one too. So yeah. Let's change things up a little bit. So these were just some things that either I missed or I mean, pretty much just things I missed, but... Or, you know, I thought that people would find interesting if they didn't know about them already. Let's find some stuff that, nobody would ever find, because there's no way to actually reach it legitimately. So, I've got the star tracker open. I've shown this in other videos. I've linked to it and stuff. One of the features of this is you can go here and warp to level. And it gives you this little dialog box. Through this, you can select any of the areas of the game, and there's a couple values you can change. You don't generally want to change warp ID, because this kind of just dictates where in the level you warp to, and usually the default is the one that you want. You can mess with it if you want, but it's not as important. And this one is meant for sub-areas. So, like, in vanilla game, Course 3 would be Jolly Roger Bay, and you have the sub-area, which is, like, inside the ship. Because this game is so extensive, it has a lot of different sub-areas, so, you know, any one of these places is actually going to be, like, a good 15 levels, usually. So here's some areas that you can't actually reach any other way other than using this tool. If we do Castle Grounds Area ID 1, we get what appears to just be the Castle Grounds, but the water's fake, first of all. And there is no longer the building in the back. This is basically like the 0.7 version of the castle. And I believe that's basically it. There's not much else here. This one's not exactly the most interesting, so I figured I'd start with this one just to get it out of the way. But not sure why that one exists. Let me go to a different one. If we do Course 13, Area 12, we have another castle duplicate area. This one's a little more interesting. The water is gone. There's also a mysterious hole up here, which, spoilers, doesn't lead to anything. I believe I've seen people say that this might be a reference to 64DS. Because in the actual game, there is no hole there, but I think there's a cutscene or something where it shows it. There are a lot of theories surrounding it. But what's really interesting about this map is that the lobby is actually part of the same map instead of being a separate area that it has to load in. There's nothing in here. It contains all the rooms, but the paintings are all blank. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't contain all the rooms. That one's not there. But yeah, it's very empty in here, but like I said, I just thought it was kind of cool. Let's check out something a little different here. Course 13, Area 14 is, and I quote, this. So, this is a dev area. This was just intended for the developers to be able to kind of hop to areas without having to actually go through the whole castle. So all these pipes kind of just lead to random stuff in the game. I'll just kind of go in a few of them. It shouldn't be anything that we haven't seen before. But, yeah, this was definitely never meant to be accessed by the player. When I was doing the testing of it, there was a point where there was a pipe in the castle grounds that led to this place, just because, again, it was kind of meant for testing. But that was never meant to be in the final version or anything. Oh boy, Modus Factory. So, I think that's about it for that place. You know, there's plenty of pipes, but I'm not going to look at every single one of them. And let's do one more. Course 4, Area 11. So, this is Indigo Cave. As far as I'm aware, this is the only hidden level in the game. There is no way to reach this normally. It was probably meant to be linked somewhere, but it just kind of never was. And, it's a small level, but it's kind of nice. It's got a nice aesthetic to it, nice music. I believe this is Paper Mario music. It's the same as, a post-game area that we'll actually be taking a look at later. Or, not the exact same, I don't think, but it's the same tune. But there's 2 stars in here. There's one from collecting the silver stars, and there's one from collecting red coins. I'll just mention right now, this red coin down in the lava is kind of tricky. You need to be very careful about how you collect that one, because you'll die if you don't do it right. Neither of the stars here are unique IDs or anything. They're just duplicates of stars that you can get from other places. So, you're not really missing out on anything in terms of, like, 100% by not being able to access this level, but kind of a shame it's not linked anywhere. Speaking of deleted levels, in one of my videos, there was a level that I said was kind of similar to Spiral Mountain from Banjo-Kazooie. It had, like, some big star-shaped clouds, rainbow bridges, there was a cabin. It was like a big hollow log. So that was actually available in an earlier build that was never public. And I got to show it off because I just kind of bumbled into it while playing, but that is no longer in the released version of the game. I don't know what that level was supposed to be called, but it is gone now. I don't exactly know why. So, I'm not going to go through this place and collect all the coins and everything. I just figured I'd show that it exists, because it's kind of neat. So, let's take a look at something else. So, this is something that existed in the 0.7 version of the game as well. We need to sit here for a little bit, and I'll explain why. But there is a way to trigger certain changes that affect the entire game. I don't know how many places are actually affected by it. I only know of a few, and so I'll show those off. But this is what is referred to as Act 1. So what you want to do is, on the title screen, he does that no thing, and after he does it the second time, like, as soon as he finishes doing it, you want to press start. And the reason for that is because in the vanilla game, if you sit on the title screen for long enough, it starts playing demos. And in this, the demos are removed, but it still changes something in the state of the game. So you know how in the vanilla game, levels kind of change over time, depending on, like, what star you enter? Those are called different act states. And, what am I doing? I need to go to... actually, no, it's not this one. It's... Let's look at this one first. But yeah, so we're actually in Act 1 right now, because it tried to load the demo, and that does impact a few levels, such as this one. This green switch is not normally here, but if you load it in Act 1, it will be here. So that's just kind of another way to activate the metal cap. I might as well do it since I'm here. And if we go to Lobby C, there should be another interesting one here. This is Jolly Roger Bay Beta. And the difference should be evident pretty soon. Yep, there it is. There's a ghost ship. It's pretty cool. This is a reference to the vanilla game where there actually is an invisible copy of the ship floating above the level in certain states. It's there, and, like, it's loaded. It just doesn't do anything. It's very odd. Also, I'm actually glad that I grabbed the metal cap, because I'm going to need it for something here. I didn't even think about this. So, the ghost ship isn't just there for show. If you go underwater with the metal cap, there's a switch that you can use to raise this ship, which you can do for a star or two. I think there's one inside it. There might be one just on top of it, I don't remember. I guess we'll see after we do this. Yeah, well, it just spawned one, so there we go. And that's all normal. You can access that without doing Act 1, but the ghost ship is specifically Act 1. And the way that you reach the ghost ship... It's going to take a second to swim around here. But if we land on the real ship... and do a little bit of this action... There's a secret warp. Leads up on top of it. And this is unfortunately a fake star. But that's the coolest one that I'm aware of. There are a few other levels that got changes. Some of the Tall Mountain style levels have stars that spawned in, which is basically like... So just as a bit of a history lesson here, in the 0.7 version of the hack, in Tall Mountain, there was a star that you could only get by doing Act 1, and I believe it was the last one ever discovered in the game. Because it's obscure as hell, so I'm not surprised nobody could find it for a long time. But, yeah, they just kind of did it again in this one. And I have definitely not gone around and scoured every level in Act 1, so there's very likely other secrets that I'm not aware of. If people want to check around a bit and see what they can find, I would be interested to hear what you come up with, because I'm always interested in just finding new stuff in this game. So... let's check out one last major thing. So, this is just a, Lotus state. We're not in Act 1 now or anything. This is Peach's floor. You normally access this by going to Bowser's floor, which you can get to through the Crescent Castle. There's a door that only opens if you have 33 stars. You go through the jail cell, warp through Bowser's throne, and then you can come here, which is basically a slightly modified version of Bowser's floor. And here there's two exits. There's one through that door, which leads to a pipe. And then there's the one that I just came from over here. I've shown this in my videos, but I'm just recapping it for people who might not know. Normally when you jump through this hole, it leads you to this area, which is, let me just speed this up. Peach's cell, and you get a little bit of a jumping puzzle, and there's a star that takes you towards some, actually, let me just grab it and show it off. I might have even shown this in some of my other informational videos, I honestly don't remember. But, yeah, you do this, and then this pipe should take you to Carnival Music, I think. Yeah. And so, this is the door that requires 13 red stars to open, and if you were able to do that, which you can only do through modifying your star count with the tracker, because there's not 13 red stars in the game, then the pipe in there would take you to basically the final Bowser level. But you can also get there by just jumping in this hole and getting lucky. Yeah. So if you do it enough times and you're lucky enough, it'll just take you straight to the third Bowser fight, Eternal Fort. And this is the old version of that fight, the one that was in 0.7. If you beat Bowser here, you'll trigger the credit sequence and everything. Alternatively, you could just die, and that'll take you to Randomized Realm, which is basically the final Bowser stage before the fight. It takes you to the end of the level, so if you want to collect the stars here, you have to kind of go backwards through it, and it's actually pretty tricky. Alternatively, you could go through this pipe and get to the other version of Eternal Fort, which is the same Bowser fight, but it's in a totally different level. which is a lot more substantial than the other one. Has red coin star and everything. And once again, you can beat Bowser and get the credits and all that stuff. And when you get to the credits, it leads to some other funky stuff. And I believe this is new information. As far as I'm aware, nobody else has posted this on YouTube. The only not the stuff I've already shown, but what I'm going to show. The only reason I know this is because Chris posted it on his server a while ago, and said that, you know, he was surprised nobody found it. Surprised that I specifically didn't find it. And to that I say, how the fuck would anybody have ever found this? As you'll see, it is, very not obvious. So, let's go back here. This is my older save state, which should be set to Act 1. I'm going to double check and see if the green switch is here. Yep, okay, we're in Act 1. So, here's the deal. If you're in Act 1, you need to get to Lobby B. Go to the Plexel lobby, which is through here. And in this area, there are 3 particular warps that we care about. One of them, I'm going to just show all of them. It doesn't really matter, because you can take any of these, and they all work equally correct, like, equally valid, but, one of them is the Big Boo's Haunt warp inside that boo over there. I don't have the vanish cap on this save file, so I can't go look at it. One of them is in this number 1 door near the cloud painting. It is inside that pipe. And the other one, if we go over here, run around for a little bit, there is another boo with a Big Boo's Haunt entrance inside it. All 3 of those warps take you to the same place, and that place is Crimson Hallway. And this area is, just, you know, we've been able to reach this through other means. There's other stuff that links to this, but those 3 specific warps from the Plexel lobby actually lead to a duplicate version of this map. And there is only one difference between the duplicate and the original. All the other warps out of this are the same. If you go through there, it's still going to be the underwater level. There's a couple doors here that lead to places, and those are the same. But the trick here is you're not actually looking for a warp. What you actually want to do in here is just die. And you can do that by wall jumping and taking fall damage, or you can have this boo bump into you a few times. And guess what happens when you die here? You reach the post game. That is a secret warp that nobody was ever going to find, because I want to reiterate, it only works if you enter the Crimson Hallway from those specific warps that I've shown. If you enter it any other way, it won't do this. It also has to be in Act 1. Depending on, like, you know, whether it's not Act 1 or you access it from a different place, the dying there will either just do what it normally does and send you back to Plexel Lobby, or it'll just crash the game. But if you do it in that specific way, you can end up here. It's kind of neat, because a side effect of how you normally reach these areas after beating Bowser and going through the credit sequence and everything is when the ending cutscene plays out, you reappear in the monochrome castle grounds that I was just in a minute ago, but the game is in like a weird state because it loaded out of a cutscene, and so your HUD is missing, but also your caps are disabled. And so in this area, which is Star Road, there's a few levels, and one such level is the Tower of Dreams over here. And in this level, it is critical that you have the caps enabled, because there is a star behind a vanished cap gate, and to get to the top of the level, you also need the wing cap, and normally it would not be possible to do either of those things, because the caps just don't work. They shut off when you're in that post-game mode. But, I'm trying to see if I can... I think I have to get up pretty high in this place to actually see the cap switches. Or, in this file, I don't even have them enabled, but yeah, trust me, they would work. Because, normally there would be no other way to actually reach this place and have the HUD enabled. It would normally be turned off. So, that is 3 additional stars you can get here, and 2 additional stars that you can get in the Nightmare Tower, which you reach from the top of this place. And, unfortunately, 1 more star in Cave Dungeon, or Kaizo Caverns as I called it. If you haven't watched my videos covering this level, I have some choice words to say about this place. I have absolutely no idea how you're supposed to get through anything in this level, but I am assured that there is indeed a way to do it. Just don't ask me. But yeah, there's a star you can get there now because it would have required Vanish Cap. Since I'm here, I'll just show the other ones. This one is very polygonal chaos-y, but you've got a homing one-up that kills you when it touches you, so you gotta just kind of try to outrun it. I'll see if I can actually beat the level. Nope, because I forgot which way to go. And the last one is actually kind of the lamest of the levels. It's just this slide over here. It's not particularly noteworthy. It's just kind of the princess's slide, but a little different. Actually, I think this is a mirrored version of the Cool Cool Mountain slide. But yeah, it's just kind of whatever. The tower level is cool. The race level's pretty cool. Kaizo Caverns needs to go die in a fire. So, you know, 2 out of 4 ain't bad. This pipe, for the record, just leads back here. It's very inconvenient to get back from this, so I don't recommend it. But that's basically it. You know, I've had people request videos showing how to do the post-game stuff, and so this pretty much covers that. And other than that, the only thing I think I've seen people request from me was a compilation of all the jump scares, which I don't really feel like doing, and other people have already done. So, once again, if I can think of anything else to cover in this game that I haven't already, I might do another video, but I wouldn't count on it. And if people find any other new discoveries, especially anything involving Act 1, feel free to let me know. I will document it in my spreadsheet, and, you know, depending on how extensive it is, I might show it off later. But, I believe that's going to be it for this game for a while, at least.